It's Gilbert Joekpata, the smart investor, and I bring to you Bitcoin updates and analysis in a video format like I did promised you. So there are real opportunities, in the chart. I want you to see where you will be able to make profit, position not just in Bitcoin but overall with the market, without going through the risky degen, which many persons always do. And so why is this important, and what are the data you should be watching out for? So before actually put up back my lines, in the chart, there are things I want you to take notice of. And the first thing is that our last macroeconomic data that came out was us having both that is job employment numbers and earning report coming out negative. This is not something we've seen before. Typically what we always see is one will come out negative, the other positive, but then we had the both of them negative. But then some macroeconomic rules have changed. And what is that macroeconomic rules? While a lot of persons were expecting that the US will slide into a recession, there were certain attention I was trying to draw some other KOLs in the industry too. The rules have changed. What is the rule that have changed? 2 negative quarter always mean a recession, but then we had 2 negative quarter, and then the Fed did not declare we are officially in a recession. So what does this mean? While we are more like in a transitionary inflation environment, but yet people are like, hey, the job number is strong, yet we are facing high inflation problem. So what is interesting in the charts that you should pay attention to, first of all, we're able to spot the fact that we have found the bottom of the range, which will lead us to some more upside, and that is played out. But then it's possible to find different bullish pattern in a particular chart, and that is why it is my own view that first of all, right now the Feds will be forced to start cutting interest rates, because all of a sudden they realize that people have no longer interest in holding government bonds like they were doing during the heavily risk on environment. And so persons right now will rather be diving into the stock market. You could see the stock market is doing well. Dive into gold, silver, and also Bitcoin, because this is a more favorable place for investors right now, and no longer government bonds with a high massive interest rate that was on it, which was relatively safe. Probably at that moment it was the safest place where investors could be. But now Bitcoin has not just been able to hit this bottom, it still took off some local high. While we also had some local high taking off, we were able to have our inverted head, and then shoulder. So this is the head, this is the left shoulder, but then this is our right shoulder. The thing is, some traditional technical analysts may tell me, hey Gilbert, this is not a right shoulder, but then I'd explained this before. This is a type C or a type 3 shoulder, meaning that this actually means that while this was formed in, buyers came in, then we waited for this to fully form. It's fully formed, but look at this. There's something I want you to take notice of. Just give me your time, we had something else. This is a descending triangle. But then another question, Gilbert, descending triangles are bearish, isn't it? Yes, descending triangles are bearish. But the thing, especially for those of you who always take notes, in most of the time, descending triangles in the cryptocurrency market, unlike Forex or the stock, always turn out to always be bullish. There are so many ways we always try to factor in, what is happening. Will we see it break out this time, or will we have a downside, But this time around, we had it break out, as more expected when you gauge in the overall health of the market. So we have a couple of bullish structure. First of all, this overall structure, you see the grinding line, descending channel, the takeouts that we had, taking out the localized high. is an overall bullish structure telling us that Bitcoin is forming some assertiveness and bullishness plus our inverted head and shoulder. But then the thing is, Bitcoin has been finding it difficult to break this high it formed in March. We had a challenge here, and still we are still in the same structure we had in the 2021 top. Interesting enough. In another chart, maybe we'll do a 360 analysis where I will show you that. I don't want us to spend time here. So we've always had issues, breaking this level. But then the question is, are we breaking? And yes, it is my assessment overall that we are overall bullish, and we are going to have a takeout this time around that is going to lead us to 79k. So we're getting ready this time around to break it and lead us to all-time high. What then will be our triggering event? Two things. One, we expect European Central Bank to start cutting rate, and we have interesting news here. I think this is Bank of Canada. This is Bank of Canada. They have the cut rate by 4.75%. Official, you could see officially the Bank of Canada has reduced policy rates to now 25 basis points. So this is the kind of news we want to see. More bullish news like this. And the last but not the least, I think very interesting data we should be expecting is Friday's earnings report. Friday's earnings report could be the triggering events that we'll have, which will lead us to the more interesting breakouts we should be expecting Bitcoin to provide for us. And then maybe it's a question you may ask me, so if this none happens, what next? There are possibilities of retest, possible retest which will lead us to a more upside level where we'll test we'll be able to test this level. So once this happens, it's overall bullish for the cryptocurrency market. This is beyond looking at the smaller time frame. We're doing all of this in the 1D chart. So this is what you should pay attention to. And if you don't have your interesting bags, of alt, the right bags which you will need, when the cryptocurrency market starts its assertiveness, which will lead us into that more crazy, runway bull market we will be expecting to see. So something else, if you want to know assets you should be accumulating for this next leg that will be taking off, one place I would seriously recommend you be a part of is the Smart Investors Lodge Premium community, which gives you access to the most promising investing and trading opportunities. So we want you to go to produce cash flow and long-term capital appreciation, and that's why we have a trading room for spot trading signals, futures trading signals, and also assets you should be accumulating for the typical runway bull market. I will see how I could drop a link for those of you who have interest in joining the premium community. Meanwhile, regardless of what you do in the cryptocurrency market, make sure if you are investing or you're trading, make sure you're investing and trading smartly, my friends.